Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge. That's football. It's a big game. It's the Premier League knocking out La Liga. I'm gonna hit it straight on the head. This game tonight to me is La Liga first against Premier League fourth, and it's about proving that La Liga to Darren in Swindon and Dave in Derby and Carol in Cambridge, who've got their full kit Barcelona Messi shirts on, and they've never been to Barcelona. And they only picked them to try and be relevant. It's about knocking them out. It's the Premier League knocking out La Liga and proving that this season, the Premier League is way better than La Liga. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for me tonight. So looking forward to this. I don't want to hear about... We're not the history... This is not the history channel. This is YouTube. I don't want to hear about Sevilla beating Manchester United last season. I don't want to hear about Atletico Madrid beating Liverpool last season. That's the history channel. This is the now channel. This is going to happen tonight. So let's get it done for the Premier League. Chelsea 1-0, of course. They've got the away goal up against Atletico Madrid. I'm excited about it. I've even put out an antagonistic tweet just to wind them up a little bit more. I'm up for this. Premier League massive. That's what it's about tonight for me. Premier League massive. So how are we all doing anyway? Busy day for me today. Hope you've all had a good day as well. I've done Cheltenham. I've got picked out two winners at Cheltenham today. Just done the United stand. Busy, but I've been looking forward to this all day. So I hope you're all looking forward to it as well. I'm going to go through the team news with you just now. But let me just get the live comments back up. That's not where we were. One live comments. Where are you? There you are. Hello, everybody. So, Prattbridge, says Kiro. Nice. All right. Thanks everyone for watching anyway. Please smash a like on the video. And thanks everyone who's been watching my video I put up on the channel today about Man City ruining football. It's done exactly what I hoped it would do, which is generate a lot of conversation. Some people don't agree with it. I don't think they actually watched the video, but a lot of people did resonate with it, and I appreciate that. So if you've not watched it, you can check it out. But let's get the team news as well, because we are about to, well, we're not about to kick off yet, but we will be kicking off soon. So let's have a look here. Let's get it on for the Premier League. So, let's have a look at this team news. What do we got? Everybody? So, we've got Chelsea at home, of course. Sorry, it's just waiting to get this up later. What's my score prediction? My score prediction is 2-1 to Chelsea, which will obviously put them through anyway. So, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I think they'll have too much. I think they're gonna have to work hard. I don't think they're a bad side. I think they will have to work hard, but I think they'll get the job done, and I think they will get over the line. So looking forward to it in that sense. But I'm just about to get you the team news now. Let's have a look. I've lost my live comments. There we go. So, team news. Chelsea against Atletico Madrid. Of course, Bayern Munich are playing Lazio, but that game's over. We don't need to worry about that one too much. Mendy in goal. Azpilicueta, Zuma and Rudiger, which I think is a good back three. James and Alonso. I prefer Alonso to Chilwell, and I like Reece James. Kovacic and Kante, absolutely fine. Ziyech, Havertz and Werner. I mean, look, Mason Mount's out because he's suspended. Jorginho's out because he's suspended. But that shows the quality of the squad that Frank Lampard actually had. He just couldn't utilise it. So let's see if... Chelsea have got a fantastic squad. Let's see if Chelsea, with no Mason Mount and no Jorginho, can still do well. I mean, you look at their bench without that. They've still got Pulisic on the bench. They've still got Giroud and Hudson-Odoi on the bench. Chilwell. So, still got good players on the bench. As for Atletico Madrid, Oblak, Trippier, Savic, Jimenez and Dos Santos. Llorente, Koch, Sal and Carrasco with Sekera and Suarez up front. On their bench, they've got Correa, Lemar, Torreira, Dembele, Felipe, and they've got options. But remember, what this game is actually about is the La Liga, the best team in La Liga. The best team in La Liga. They're 4 points clear at the moment. Atletico Madrid, best team in La Liga. Barcelona are the second best. They're out. Real Madrid did get through to the next round, to be fair. But the best team in La Liga are obviously Atletico Madrid, and they are currently the best team in La Liga, and Chelsea are fourth, and this is about Premier League team knocking out La Liga's best. This is what we're at. So, look, I hope Daryl's got his Messi kit on. I hope he's got his shorts and his T-shirt on. I bet he's got the away kit as well. Wants to be different, wants to support the best player in the world, and assumes that they'll be the best team in the world, in the best league in the world. Well, this is going to backfire on you, Daryl. It's going to backfire on you big time. Shut up about La Liga already, says Ranveer. Oh, he's another one. Ranveer's another one. He's got his Messi kit on. Maybe he's got Benzema on his back. I don't know. But we're on. We're up for this. Let's have it. What's your score predictions then? Get in the link in the video description. Sorry, get in the live chat with your score predictions. Just wanted to just double check something here. What happened? Just trying to think what happened to the fourth place team in Sevilla, which is Sevilla. Yeah, they got kicked out. They got kicked out by Dortmund. Real Sociedad, fifth place team. What happened to them? Yeah, they got battered by Man United in the Europa League. Oh, La Liga, you're getting battered all over the place. Your only club left is Real Madrid, and they'll be out next round. Atletico Madrid about to get knocked out by fourth place in the Premier League. Barcelona battered by PSG. Sevilla knocked out by Dortmund, who aren't even in the top four in the Bundesliga. Fifth place Sociedad battered by Manchester United. The Premier League, the La Liga in the mud. It's in the mud at the moment. It will be back. It will be back. Don't worry, Daryl. Your kit will be relevant next season, probably. But Barcelona and Real Madrid will find a way back. Of course they will. But as Ad Smith says, it's a bit of a joke now. I don't see your outrage about Chelsea when they got bought. Roman spent his way up just like City. Is it because your dad is a Chelsea fan? Says Centurion's 100 points. You've obviously not listened to my videos in the past. I can't say Chelsea and Man City are ruining football, can I? It was a video about Manchester City. But no, I mean, Chelsea have got more of a history than Manchester City. I would give them that. They actually did have a successful period. But no, I mean, look, Chelsea have bought success. Of course they have. There's no denying that. I wouldn't deny that. Do you want to... Where are the second best team in the Premier League in the Champions League, says Gary. Yeah, but Gary, we're talking about La Liga. We're talking about La Liga. I'll tell you what happened to the second best team in the Premier League. It got knocked out by PSG and Leipzig. It went down to the Europa League. It met the fifth best team in La Liga and it battered them. That's what happened to the second best team in England. And the fourth best team in England is about to batter the best team in Spain. This is about La Liga and the Prem. You can't get at me about United not being in the Champions League because this is about La Liga and the Prem. Hi Mark, you just missed my super chat, but I understand as you're busy. What are you wearing for Christmas Eve? Always wanted to know. What am I wearing for Christmas Eve, Ross? It's not Christmas Eve. It's nowhere near Christmas Eve. Anyway, we're about to kick off. I didn't see the score prediction, so whack them in again. I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea. I'm actually really up for this. I just really want to prove the point that the Premier League is so much better than La Liga. And that's what I want to see tonight. And let's not forget, Chelsea passed Atletico Madrid off the park in the first leg. It should have been more than one. Atletico Madrid have only got a chance tonight because Chelsea weren't ruthless. So, it's on. That's not what I want. A lot of people going 1-1. Chelsea didn't have history more than City before 2003. City won more trophies than Chelsea. It's a fact. Check it. It's a Centurion 100 points. I'll tell you what is a fact, Centurion 100 points. You've won less league titles than Sunderland, and you've won the same amount of Champions Leagues as Rochdale. And before 2008, basically, your owners put a name in a hat and just picked you out. They weren't Man City fans. It's just mercenary City. They just bought you because you're an experiment. You're a play toy to billionaires. That's what you are. And I'm sure you enjoy it, but deep down, you know it's true. You're like, this could have been anybody. This is like getting a FIFA cheat code. It doesn't mean anything really, because how can we fail? How can you fail with billionaires who've got more money than anybody else? How can you fail? It's not like, it really is like playing Football Manager with all the cheat codes. It's like you're bound to succeed. Anyway, the game's up and running. And Atletico Madrid on the attack here. Come on, Chelsea, calm down. You've got the away. Go on, Werner. He's off. He's away, Werner. He's down the right hand side. Turn around, Werner. He's done well. He's done very well. Still Werner. And has he won a corner? No, he's gone for a goal kick. The timer has started. Sorry, it's just not on the screen. There you go. Sorry, I was getting excited. I tell you what, actually, I meant to say this at the start of the show, but I didn't get a chance to say it. The reason I was a little bit late, Chelsea going to lose this game, says Dixie. The reason I was a little bit late on this show tonight is because just after I finished the United stand, somebody sent me a message basically saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is useless, and the only chance we've got tomorrow is individualism as per usual. And I thought, you know what, that's actually, I'm going to bring this up on That's Football, because it doesn't matter whether it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Emery, Arsene Wenger or any other sacked manager. This, to me, is why football fans will always get ridiculed as being hysterical twats, because when you've got people opening their mouth and saying that managers rely on individual brilliance, it's got absolutely nothing to do with them when we win, but when we lose, it's totally their fault. It really does fan opinion a total and utter misservice. And it also shows that these people who open their gobs have probably never played a game of football in their lives, because at the highest level in the Premier League, you don't just sit there in a dressing room and say, Bruno, Rashi, go out and win me the game. What defensive? How high do you want the defensive line then? What do you want me to do when I get the ball? No, it's nothing to do with me. I know nothing. Just do it on pure vibes. And this is the idiotic sort of opinion that gets out there and damages us as fans. Because these people really know next to nothing about football. All they're good at is spouting total shit. Like, I don't care what manager you are. I don't care whether you're Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Arteta, Sean Dyche. I don't care who you are. There is absolutely no way you can be a Premier League manager and just be relying on individual brilliance. You have to have a level of tactical acumen, and you have to have an element of man management, and you have to have an understanding of football, and you have to have a plan. It is not just individual brilliance. That would be like saying, let's buy Messi and just leave him to run the game. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. And anybody who thinks it is actually exposes themselves as a total and utter naive prat. If I'm honest, I would love a billionaire to buy Spurs and their success. I would not be ashamed, just happy. I would see success before I get Alzheimer's, says IKEA Shoe Rack Supports Club. Mate, you know what? The funny thing is, on that video where I said Man City are ruining football, at no point did I say that I don't blame Man City fans for loving every minute of it. That's the funny thing. Man City fans get their knickers in a twist about that video where I said Man City are ruining football. But I actually said in it, you can't blame Man City fans for loving it. It's like winning the lottery. So I'm actually saying that, you know, I understand why they're so happy. But what I'm actually saying in the bigger picture, nobody else has got a bloody chance, because they're just buying all the records, all the titles, and nobody can compete with that level of spending. Apart from probably Abramovich, to be fair. So, you know, Chelsea, to a certain extent, they're not quite ruining football yet because they're not winning things as much as Man City are. But when you look at this season, the thing that really opened me up to it is a corner for Chelsea here, Reece James. I'll come back to that point in a minute. Reece James with the corner. Christmas Eve Bridge, says Ross. I also wanted to know if you'll be doing an F1 watch along on the 28th. It's during the international. I might do, Ross. Yeah, I've thought about it. But yeah, the thing that really struck me about Manchester City and made me want to do the video is that I've really seen in the last few weeks the power that they've had. I mean, to be fair, Chelsea's squad is very good, and I wonder if they'd had Tuchel for the whole season, whether they would be a lot closer to Manchester City. But the reason Man City have ruined this league for me this season is because everybody thought when Villa were beating Liverpool and all these weird results were happening, that this was going to be the greatest season ever. It's a great leveller because everybody's in the same boat having to play loads and loads of games. And it looked like it was going to be a good leveller. And then we got halfway through the season. Everybody's been playing 3 games a week for 4 months. The squads are starting to run a little bit bare. The energy levels are starting to drop to ridiculous levels. And Manchester City basically I've got 2 teams. And they've built 2 teams. And Pep's bought 2 teams for a reason. And to be honest with you, if I'd thought about it at the start of the season, I should have said Man City are going to win this league easily. Because they've got a very good manager who's built an amazing squad where nearly everybody on their bench goes into the first team of every team in the Premier League and probably Europe. And in the second half of the season, everyone's going to be knackered, but Man City can basically use 2 teams and be fresh. And, you know, we've seen that this year, that this title, especially this season, has been bought by the fact that they've got billionaire owners who've built a very good squad that is just on a different level. You look at Liverpool's bench, it's not even as good as Chelsea or Spurs, really. Liverpool's depth is not there. Liverpool were always going to struggle. I know they've been unlucky with injury, but I think even if they had Van Dijk, even if they had Joe Gomez, I think Liverpool still would have struggled because the way they play football, how can they play 3 times a week like they play with the squad that they've got? It would be impossible. But we've had 7 minutes here. I need to focus on the game a little bit. Go on then, Kante. Oh, it's a foul. It's got to be a foul. He's given a bloody goal kick again. That linesman's on the take. It was a foul on Kante anyway. This is a foul on Kante. He gets there first. If they show the 50-50, he gets there first. Ball goes. That's a fucking foul. Why is he not given a foul? Twat! You're right in front of it. What a knobhead. What's for dinner? I had potato pancakes and salmon with creme fraiche. Paddy's Day, isn't it? So I went for something a little bit Irish. Kante should have done better there, says Archie. Yeah, probably should have done better, really. Mark's a Chelsea fan. I am tonight. It's a rarity for me to support the English team in Europe. It's a real rarity, but I'm not a Chelsea fan, of course. What I am is I'm a Premier League fan. I want the Premier League to bury La Liga and shut it down because, you know what? I'm actually tired of arrogance from the La Liga clubs, especially Barcelona and Real Madrid. So much arrogance about how great they are, and, you know, you're not anymore. It's the Premier League's time. I'm not saying the Premier League club's going to win the Champions League, by the way. This is just simply Premier League better than La Liga. And remember, Atletico Madrid are top of La Liga. They're the best team in the La Liga. So there we go. Would you cheer Arsenal on in this game? Yes, I would, Hassan. Yes, I would. Marvin says you said you don't support Premier League teams in the Champions League. I literally just said I don't normally do it, Marvin. You're right. I do, when I'm watching F1, British, I normally want Lewis Hamilton to win. Yeah. I know. Lewis Hamilton's a bit of a divider, isn't he? You know, some people don't like him at all. I've always liked Lewis Hamilton. I think it's just because he's clearly a very, very good racer, and he's also British. So yeah. Although that doesn't work for Andy Murray. I've always supported Federer over Andy Murray. So I can see that you might not always just go for somebody just because they're British. Problem with Liverpool is they play high tempo for 3 seasons. Here's Alonso down the left-hand side. Went for a shot. Nah, he should have put the cross in there. Let's go back to that point anyway. Problem, says Aidan McCrudden, with Liverpool is they play high tempo for 3 seasons at a consistent level, and the players, I think, are burnt out. You can blame injuries because we had Van Dijk and Gomez in that 7-2 thrashing at Villa. And I'm a Liverpool fan. And that's what I was trying to say, Aidan. I think you were going to struggle this season because I think it's been proven that look, they can analyse all sorts of things now, can't they? And apparently Liverpool's press has gone down 30%. I don't know how you analyse that, but it's a lot to lose, isn't it? And look, Liverpool have pressed well this season. I remember them playing Leicester at Anfield, probably about November time, and they absolutely pressed the life out of them in the first sort of 70 minutes. And I quite fancied Leicester in that game. I've not seen Liverpool play like that at all this year. I just don't think they have the energy levels. And that was without Van Dijk and Joe Gomez and probably Matip as well. So they can do it. But I just don't think they've got the legs. Man City to get Bayern or PSG in the next round, says Daniel. We all know Man City are getting Porto. Mark tried to send my first super chat and forgot to add the text. Could you shout my TikTok out? It's Fabinho the Goat 3 and Naby Lad the Goat, says Mikey. Well, there you go. Fabinho the Goat 3 and Naby Lad the Goat on TikTok. No, is it on TikTok? Yeah, TikTok. There you go. Thanks for the super chat, Mikey. Thanks everyone who's done a super chat. You can do that through the $ if you want. And please do subscribe to the bottom right, in the bottom right hand corner. We are closing in. Well, we're not. We're on the road to 350k, and we will be doing a Champions League draw on here on Friday morning. I'm only doing Europa League draw if Man United are in it, and we don't know until tomorrow night. That'll be on the United stand. Watch along tomorrow night. Big game against AC Milan. Chelsea on the attack here. Reece James, good cross. Chelsea the better team so far. And Atletico Madrid doing what they always do, parking the bus. Good play by Werner. Very good play. Ziyech gets it back. Hit it. Oh, I tell you what. Lovely play by Chelsea, but they just can't break them down. Brad Carling, I don't have an agenda against City. I did a very, very fair, constructed video of my opinion on this channel. If you don't choose to watch it and you don't choose to open your ears, then I can't do anything for you. I can't keep having this conversation with people about City. The video says absolutely everything in it and actually is quite fair. The tree thing is working, Mark, says Big Josh. Thanks. Good. I wonder what you're on about there. Good, Josh. Very pleased to hear that. Arjen says, why do you hate La Liga? I don't hate La Liga. I'm just proving a point that the Premier League is better than La Liga. That's all I'm doing. Because when I said it a couple of weeks ago, people were like, La Liga's better than it. Because this is what these Madristas and these Barcelona fans, they can't accept it. They think they're the best team in the world. And you're not anymore. You will be again. You will be again. But at the moment, you're not. So, take your pudding like we've had to do when you were the best. What was for dinner, Mark? Says a blue whale. Salmon and potato cakes with creme fraiche and a nice salad. It was very nice. What time is the Champions League draw on Friday? It's set up for Bayern Man City final with PSG and Dortmund in the semis, says Aidan McCrudden. I can see Bayern getting PSG, I can see Chelsea getting Liverpool, and I can see Man City getting Porto. I'll be stunned if Man City don't get Porto, to be honest with you. Because for years they've always got easy draws. Can you sing Wonderwall? Says Abanjo. Not at the moment. And I presume the Champions League draw is probably at 11 o'clock. But normally about that time, isn't it? Time for a stretch. Get an early stretch in. Madrid just parking the bus as per. Okay. I agree that most of football fans in general are neurotic prats. I'm an Arsenal fan. Stick with Arteta, hoping and believing in the long-term project, says Thomas. I think you're right to stick with Arteta, though, Thomas. I do. I mean, look, there was a lot of your vocal fans in December who, it's their club, so I understand why they get more passionate about what I say about their club. But I don't agree that wearing... I thought that wearing the your manager out T-shirts and demanding that he gets sacked is just sensationalist bollocks that does fan opinion no good. And I felt that it was way too early to get rid of Arteta, and you clearly have got an owner problem, just like Man United have, and he clearly has got a squad that he needs to work on, just like Man United have. So I felt that Arteta deserved till May, and I said that, and lo and behold, he's done a lot better. He has done a lot better, hasn't he? So I think Arsenal... I don't want Arsenal to be successful. I don't want Chelsea to be successful. I don't want Liverpool to be successful. And I don't want Man City to be successful. But it doesn't mean I can't watch a game of football with them in it and be pragmatic about it. And I think that realistically, Arteta looks like he's the right manager. And I would say to any Arsenal fan, if you sack Arteta and you bring Allegri in or Nagelsmann in, he's still going to have the same problems Arteta's got. He hasn't got the players, he hasn't got the squad, and he needs time. So why not give Arteta that time? Good cross there, and I think it was Rudiger who missed the header completely. Could have been a goal. Be nice for Chelsea just to get a goal, because that 2-goal cushion just gives them that little bit more, doesn't it? That Gina G, a little bit more. Please have a boxing fight with DT, says Jacob. Oh, God, I don't think the world's ready for that. I thought Allegri was going to Shakhtar anyway. Kovacic and Kante playing really well in the midfield for Chelsea at the moment, just dictating the play. I mean, look, Atletico Madrid have got Luis Suarez and João Felix as a front two, and they may as well have Peter Crouch in his current state and Akinfenwa. Like, it may as well be me and DT up front. Like, they are just passengers in a team like this. And Chelsea are playing so much better, and yet Chelsea are the team that are 1-0 up. Yeah, I agree with you, Chris Owens. It's just scripted crap, isn't it, to be honest with you? I mean, look, I'm a footballer. I'm a football purist as a fan. I'm sure most of us are. I don't think there's many football fans out there that enjoy watching negative football. I think we'll all put up with it if our team wins, but ultimately you want the team that plays well and wins, and that's what you want. And here he is though, João Felix. Lovely interception by Kante. But it frustrates the life out of me as a football purist to see. I mean, I don't like Luis Suarez, but there's no doubting he's a good player. João Felix is a very good player, and it just disappoints me to see two players like that in a system like this. Very similar to Spurs at the weekend. You see that team news come out for Spurs, and you see Ndembele in the pivot. You see Moura, Bale, Son and Kane as a front four, and you think, oh, that's a good team on paper. And then you watch it and you go, my God, you may as well have Stoke players playing, because they'll probably do the same job you've asked them to, because you're not trying to win the game, you're trying to just grind a game. There's no point in having flair players if all you're interested in is grinding a game. Reece James crosses, bow, you took it off his foot, Werner, bloody hell, he took it right off Ziyech's foot. It's gone for a goal kick as well. Watch this, lovely ball by Reece James. Oh, what is Werner doing there? He's got to listen to the shout. It was a corner and they didn't get it. Football has changed so much since I started supporting in the 70s, says IKEA Shoe Rack. It's now a business, not a sport, but I understand why true fans from the true football days struggle with today's games. Spurs FA Cup days in the 80s still give me chills. And Mark Dobby says, Mark, what's your view on the Ollie's blatant bullshit comments about Donny? He goes on like Donny has been on the cusp of the first team all season. Well, I don't think it's blatant bullshit. I think what more do you want him to say? He started 2 games this season, Donny van der Beek. There's clearly a problem there. And what makes me laugh the most is that people are quoting an article and they're only reading half of it about Donny van der Beek being happy because De Boer, who's got the same agent, says he's happy and he's not asked to leave. But in the same article, it says that he'll have conversations at the end of the season because he's not happy and he's only started 2 games. It contradicts itself. But people read what they want to believe. I mean, Chelsea have been so good in this first 20 minutes, but you just feel that 1-0, it can change. It's going to be a smash and grab from Atletico Madrid, isn't it? That's what they're trying to do. Defend and smash and grab. Reece James, he has got a long shot on him, but that was nowhere near the goal. When are you going to play Rocket League, says Zach. I'll try and set it up. I'm very busy, as you know. I mean, like today I've done 10 o'clock show, Cheltenham stream for 3 hours, United stand at 7, and then this for a couple of hours. So, and then you've got everything else that goes on off the camera, like with family commitments and stuff. So I will do some Rocket League. But Football Manager was brilliant last night. Tyrese Palmer, massive. I'm telling you. In fact, if you want to check it out, give me a follow on Twitch. I've dropped the link in the video description. It'll be back on Friday. The Football Manager hardcore crew. We're doing stuff. We're going well. Could have gone top of the league last night. We bloody drew. The last game, we'd had a great stream. I should still win Manager of the Month, but only the top team gets promoted. Put the kettle on, Mark. If you know, you know. Jack Byrne won 40 quid because of that. Palmer's better than Werner, says Aziz, you know. John Thompson says, do you think that Holland won't come to United because of the Roy Keane tackle? It's a myth. Yeah, he won't come to Man United because Man United's transfer budget isn't big enough, and even if it was, we'd mess the deal up. It's got nothing to do with Roy Keane. Although they might put that out there just to make them, oh, we tried, but we couldn't do it because of Roy. Here we go, Ziyech, have a look. Oh, he's gone wide to Reece James, who's getting forward well, but I think the ball into Werner. Come on, look wide. Lovely ball. Oh, Ziyech, that's two bad choices. Look at Suarez looking for a foul. Once a cheat, always a cheat. Tor Andre Flo was better than Werner, says David Salter. Flo was a good striker for Chelsea. He actually wasn't that bad. I have read Roy Keane's autobiography, and he definitely did try to injure Haaland's dad badly, and he did injure him badly. But that is not a reason to not come to Manchester United, because Roy Keane has not got a statue. He won't be getting a statue. Didn't even get invited to the '99 reunion game, and is basically not a Manchester United ambassador or anything like that because of his fallout with Roy Keane. So to not go to Man United because of Roy Keane is like, you know, it's like not going to your local pub because you don't like somebody who used to drink there, but they're now in prison for 20 years. They're not going to be there, and they're nothing to do with the club. Enjoying your content as always, Mark. Can you save your Football Manager career to watch later on? Haven't got the time recently for Twitch. Greetings from Germany, says Otter. Well, it does stay on there for a bit, Otter. I don't know how long a video stays on Twitch, but I think it stays for about a week. Do you think Simone would be a good manager in the Prem, says Jack Brown? You know, if you like Mourinho-style football, yeah. People who got the vaccine think they're great, says Matthew Larney. Oh, yeah, no. Gangster granny. What can be done about too much financial backing, says Saeed? Nothing. Nothing can be done. Increase the CPU use of goalkeeper ability. It will stop the near post glitch. Worked for me, says Jacob Sullivan. Yeah, it's cheating a little bit, Jacob, isn't it? Mark, put the kettle on. If you know, you know, says Jay Pledger. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Injured players back. What's your opinion on them being back? And do you think they will be making a difference tomorrow, says Brandon. So I think that what Brandon's talking about is that we've got Paul Pogba back for Manchester United, but he hasn't played in 6 weeks. I don't think he'll start him. And I think even if he did start him, he'd start him on the wing and leave Dan James out so he can play McFred. Mark, rather you up top than Werner, and that's saying something, says Scott Chegg. I don't. I mean, what's your genuine thoughts on Timo Werner? I would have loved him to come to Manchester United. This time last year, I was like, Werner would be perfect for Manchester United. And to be honest with you, I still think he would. But when I look at him, he's lightweight, isn't he? He is quite lightweight, and I don't know why that wasn't a problem for him in the Bundesliga, because the Bundesliga has got big centre-backs, but he just looks... He doesn't look sharp. He doesn't look sharp at all, does he? But I like Werner. I still think there's a good player in there. I refuse to cause... I don't call Pepe a flop. I just laugh at how much he cost and how little he's done, which is just banter of a rival club. I do genuinely... I would have took... I can't be a hypocrite. I would have took Pepe at... I would have took Pepe at Man United, and I would take Werner at Man United. I would have took him. The Leeds have one of the best playing styles, says Ollie. I think they've got a very good playing style. There might be a controversial moment here. There was an Atletico Madrid player who got in behind, and he got tripped, but I don't think there was enough time. Chelsea need to be a little bit careful here. So, Azpilicueta, I don't know. Suarez plays him in. Azpilicueta's pass is a little bit short. And there's a bit of a dive, but I don't think Azpilicueta does. No, there's nowhere near enough. Carrasco takes a right tumble there. It's a terrible dive. Should be booked for it. Have you ever been to United away day? Went to City away on my birthday. Incredible away end, says Sam. How about a combined 11 between Chelsea and Atletico, says Daniel. And Mark, why you always banter Arsenal and City but never Liverpool, says Dylan. I think they've bantered themselves enough, Dylan, this year. Liverpool are our biggest rivals at Man United anyway. But, yeah, I mean, there's not much, Liverpool have... To be honest, the reason I probably don't banter Liverpool so much is because I'm just very content with what Liverpool are doing. I thought they were going to win the league this year and level up with us 20 times, and they've absolutely bottled it. So that's probably the reason. Some people are saying it was a penalty. I agree with Dean Kazabov. I think it's too light. I mean, literally, he tickles his tummy. He is going to get the ball. He's going to get the ball before Mendy gets it. Carrasco's onto that, but he's dived. He's dived. That's what you get for being dishonest, Carrasco. I think you've always got a right to go down, but he's dived there. He's gone too down. I mean, I think sometimes there's a foul and you go, that's a foul, but I think he's made a meal of that. I think he could have got there and stayed on his feet. I was listening to you talking about the possible Pogba-Ronaldo swap. Is there not a fear of losing Pogba and getting stuck with McFred? Says Red. But Pogba, this is the thing. If Pogba wants to go, he's going to go. I'm just saying if he does go, I would do that deal. As a City fan, I can see how people view as plastic. However, I think in a few years, every Prem club will be rich and we're just ahead of the club. That's an interesting point from Sam Harding. Apart from Man United, because the Glazers won't give us up. No, there will be more. I think Sam's right. There will be more and more billionaires that come into football because, Man City's owners obviously enjoy what they do. Chelsea's owner obviously enjoys what they do. There are more billionaires out there. Newcastle nearly got one. Mark, some of the toxicity from City fans over your video was weird. Everything you said was fact. Loved it myself, says AS. The thing is, if people watch the video, like Boovy, who's a Man City fan, he replied to it or something, and I said, yeah, you haven't watched the video, have you, mate? Like, if you haven't watched the video, I can't really get into a conversation with you. People talking about United spend or, not having bought it. I actually agree. I think Man City fans have got every right to love what they've achieved because it's like winning the lottery. Would you ever take João Felix at Man United? He's not playing that good at the moment because of the defensive tactics by Simeone. And I think you've just answered the question for me, Spar. I think João Felix in a Man City side or a Liverpool side or a PSG side or a Bayern Munich side would be a very good player. But I think it's very hard for a João Felix to play well in a system like this. It's a bit like Anthony Martial or Cavani or Bruno Fernandes in a Man United side when we sit back with a back six. People, it's football intelligence, isn't it? People think that João Felix, or yellow card here, people think from Havertz, people think that João Felix and Bruno Fernandes should be playing brilliantly because they've had, that's never a red card for Havertz, by the way. He's jumping for the ball and it hits his arm. It's not even a yellow card. But yeah, people think that people like Bruno Fernandes for United and João Felix, they should be playing well every game. But if you've got football intelligence, you'll watch the game, you'll look at how the managers set them up, and you'll go, well, how are they going to succeed in a game where they're not going to get much of the ball? Do you think Liverpool would be the most successful club in England if they were to win another league title, says Finn? Hi Mark, can you say my name? Isaac, happy birthday, says Namia. Yeah, I'm not reading the second name because I know what you're doing. Hi, Mark. Your City video is number 5 on trending, says Ed Woodward. Is it really? Oh, fucking hell. Do you think Liverpool would be the most successful club in England if they were to win another league title, says Finn? No. Because you've won the same amount of titles as Man United. I mean, look, if you add your Champions Leagues in there, then of course you are, yeah. Bayern are winning. Lewandowski 1-0. And there's a foul here by Atletico Madrid player. He's late. That's more of a red card than bloody Havertz was. But Atletico Madrid have come into the game a little bit more in the last 10 minutes, I must admit. Chelsea started off well, didn't get the goal, and Atletico Madrid have come back into it a little bit more. Werner stays onside into Havertz. Oh, God. I mean, you know, there's a lot of conversation about Werner, but what about the chat about Havertz? Here is Werner. Ziyech as well. His passing's been off. I think Chelsea's best players have been Alonso and James. Going forward, their best players are Alonso and James, who are the wing-backs, and Kovacic and Kante. The front three have been bloody off it. I've not had the vaccine yet, David. I'm not over 50. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And Chelsea have won it back here. Good game so far. United 66 trophies to Liverpool 63. So no, says Callum. Depends what the trophies are though, doesn't it? I do think that the fact that Liverpool have won more Champions Leagues, and if they level up on us with leagues, they've won more significant trophies. But if there were fans back this season, would there have been different or similar outcomes, says R Wheels. I still think City would have won the league. I still think Liverpool couldn't have won the league. It's the volume of games. It's 3 games a week that's killed people. So Liverpool would not have won the league. I think Man City still would have won the league. But I don't think they would have won as many games as they have with fans in the ground. But I still think they'd win the league. Ooh, God, it's been a long day. Bayern are winning. Thanks, Angry for Life. Arsenal are playing tomorrow against Olympiacos at 5:30. They'll go through. They've got 3 away goals. Spurs and Arsenal are through, really, aren't they? I tell you what, I could see a card change in this game. I think the referee could have a very big part to play. A very big part to play indeed. I said 2-1 to Chelsea. At the moment, it's not even that. I think Chelsea at the moment are just being let down by their front three. Here is Werner down the left-hand side. Look at Ziyech. Look at Ziyech. Yes, it's in. Get in. Ziyech with the goal. Werner with the cross. And Premier League has gone 2-0 up against La Liga. Sit down. Lovely goal. Lovely goal. Werner gets it on the left-hand side. Puts it across to Ziyech. And he didn't really hit it cleanly. Simeone sits down. Do sit down. La Liga sit down. Messi's crying at home in his full kit. La Liga in the mud. Lovely breakaway. I was literally just criticising the Chelsea front three. It's Havertz with a lovely ball to Werner. And Werner takes his time. Shows what he's doing. Lovely cross into it. It's a very good goal from their front three. And Chelsea lead 1-0. And I'm celebrating because you don't know the full story. I've been getting it in the neck for weeks from La Ligaists. Oh, La Liga, La Liga, La Liga. And I said when the draw came out, Chelsea will beat Atletico Madrid. And everyone was like, they've got no chance. They've got no chance. Atletico Madrid are top of La Liga. They're going to beat Chelsea. And I said, I'll tell you now, La Liga is finished. Chelsea, even though they're not even near the title, will still beat La Liga's best side. So this is a prediction. This is why I'm happy. Premier League against La Liga, and I predicted it. And this is a big sit down to everybody who told me it wouldn't happen. I was even talking to bloody, what's his name, the Chelsea fan. I did a video with him a couple of weeks ago. And he was like, I can't understand why you're so confident. And I said, it's nothing to do with being a Chelsea fan. It's about the Premier League being the real league, as S. Gavin said. We've got to change the score. Well, I don't see. Well, although to be honest, it doesn't actually change a hell of a lot, because if Atletico Madrid were to score one, they only need to score another one, and they would go through on with 2 away goals. So it's not over yet. I think it's always an advantage when you are the away team second, because you can just go throw caution to the wind. I mean, I don't think Simeone. I think Simeone throwing caution to the wind is wearing his socks twice, 2 days in a row. I mean, he's very boring, isn't he? I don't think he's gonna open up here. I think if he did open up, Chelsea would score more and more. But fair play to the front three. We're literally just talking about Ziyech and Havertz and Werner being the problem in the team so far, but they found some sharpness and form there, and maybe that's a kick in the backside for them to perform better. Here's Reece James. Cross is good. Havertz was nearly there. Do you think Arsenal had beat Atletico Madrid? You know what? I'm not even joking. How low would you have to go in the Premier League for a team to beat Atletico Madrid? I think Man United would beat them. Obviously, Man City would. Liverpool would. Chelsea would. Would Leicester beat them? I mean, Atletico Madrid are on the ropes here. Chelsea have... Look, the thing is, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Against Atletico Madrid in the first game, it was very similar to this game, although I think Chelsea have played better in this game. They've passed them off the park. Atletico Madrid are the best team in La Liga. They're top of the league. They're the best team in La Liga. And Chelsea have absolutely annihilated them in a footballing sense. I know 2-0 is not an annihilation over 2 legs, but Atletico Madrid are a team that's very rarely going to get beat 2-3-0. But in a footballing sense, if you've sat and watched these games, which we've done on both these on this channel, Chelsea have been miles ahead. Miles ahead. Here we go. Ali says Barcelona are better. Atletico are just a better Burnley. Mate, I'm not having any of this. Atletico Madrid have been top of that league for a very long time. And I don't rate Barcelona anyway. I mean, bloody hell, have you seen Barcelona? All right, they can beat a few teams in La Liga, which we're saying isn't that good anyway. When Barcelona play a decent European side, they get battered. And look, to be fair, PSG will batter most teams, but Man United beat PSG. We should have beat them. We should have not beat. The funny thing is, this is how good the Premier League is. Man United should have knocked PSG out. If Martial scores that goal in the 55th minute, PSG are going out. So we beat them in their place. We played them off the park, and they got the result at Old Trafford, fair enough, and we blew it against Leipzig. But against PSG in 2 games, United were well in the games. Well, we won one of them. Good shot there by João Felix. They need a goal, Atletico Madrid. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All the La Liga bitches in the comments. They can't take it. This isn't what Daryl from Swindon's like. This isn't meant to happen. When I chose Barcelona and got my Messi kit, I did it because I thought that he was the best player in the world, and Barcelona were the best team in the world, and La Liga was the best team in the world, and that's why I picked them. What's going on? Mummy, I want a Chelsea kit. You don't live at home anymore, Darren. You're 32. Oh, where would I get a Chelsea kit? I can't support Milan. I can't support Barcelona anymore. I've been absolutely owned. My plan hasn't worked. I assumed they would always be the best. If you're a genuine fan of Barcelona, and there's good reason for it, fair enough. But we all know who we're talking about. You'll know them from school. You'll know them from work. Who do you support then? Barcelona. Why? Why do you support Barcelona? You're from Norwich. Why don't you support Man United or Arsenal or something? I'm not saying they have to support Norwich, because that's not always the way. But no, I support Barcelona. Havertz. Ooh, could have been 2. Could have been 2. The thing is, we all know these people. You see them on football Twitter as well. Real Madrid fans, Barcelona fans. It's Daryl from Swindon. And can I just say, as I said earlier on, this has got nothing to do with people who might be from America who support Chelsea or Manchester United, or India who support Liverpool. Look, I'm from Nottingham and I support Manchester United. So the hypocrisy is not that you've got to support your local team. The hypocrisy is that there are people in the UK who will pick Real Madrid and Barcelona as their team, even though There are loads of teams that they could pick in England, but they pick Barcelona and Real Madrid because Messi or Ronaldo played there, and they want to pick a team that's always going to win. They don't even watch La Liga. At best, they probably watch the highlights every couple of weeks. But it's just so they can go to school or go to work and say, yeah, I support Barcelona. Yeah, we're brilliant. And now they can't believe it because now they're going to school and work and they're getting bantered and they're like, oh no, I'm not really a Barcelona fan. Nah, I've always been an Arsenal fan, really. Yeah, they're 10th. Oh, are they? Shit. Oh, I don't even watch football. Here we go. Aaron Churlin, or should we say Aaron from Aldershot, says, Mark, La Liga's got more Champions League than the Premier League, but the Premier League is better than La Liga. Oh my God, Aaron, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's almost like I could have logged in and wrote that myself and owned you. This is brilliant. This is the best comment of the night. So Aaron says that La Liga has got more Champions League than the Premier League, but the Premier League is better. Aaron watches the History Channel, everybody. He doesn't live in reality. He doesn't live in the now. If somebody's won more trophies than you, they're therefore always better than you. What a load of crap. We're living in 2021. 2021. And La Liga is getting owned. It's getting owned, Aaron. It's getting absolutely owned. Right here. Right now. Moby sang it. I'll say it. Right here. Right now. The Premier League is better than La Liga. And we all know it. So go and watch the History Channel and pull out your Champions Leagues because right here, right now, it's like Liverpool saying, we've won 6 Champions Leagues, so we're better than Man City because they've not won any. No, your history's better, but right here, right now, Man City are better. It's like Manchester United fans saying, we've won more Premier Leagues than you. Right here, right now, Man City are better than Manchester United. We all know it. And right here, right now, La Liga, it ain't even better than League One in France. No, that's too far. Put the kettle on, Mark, says Paul W. Sorry, Aziko, he says, the new Formula 1 season starts on the 28th at 4 p.m. Maybe first watch along as there's no football on. That's not a bad shout, actually. I'm guilty of supporting Manchester United because Chicharito was playing there when I was just getting into football and I'm Mexican, says Red Harlow. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're mixing up my point. My point is not about supporting a club for a reason. My problem is, and you might not get it in other areas, but we really do get it in England, where people would start supporting Barcelona and Real Madrid, not for any other reason than they're just doing it because they want to appeal as edgy, and they just want to pick a team that they think is going to be the best forever. When they could, like I say, pick an English side that's good. They could pick Liverpool. They could even pick City, but they'll go, nah, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Absolutely no reason to do it other than trying to be an absolute glory supporter, but not even a glory supporter from the Premier League. They've gone La Liga. They've gone Messi and Ronaldo. That's what it's all about. Oh, Kovacic just shoots wide. I love Kovacic. I think he's a fan. I'd love him at Man United. I think we should have took him from Real Madrid. Anyway, I'm going to try and stop doing it now because, to be honest with you, I do think Real Madrid and Barcelona will be back on the top of world football very soon because they've got a system within their club where, although they're in debt, and I think it raises a good point, how long do you think it will be for Barcelona and Real Madrid to get back? Because they will get back. I mean, as a Manchester United fan, I've got to say I'm envious of Barcelona and Real Madrid because they have got an owner network and a presidential system whereby success is demanded. If we had that, Man United would be back a lot quicker. I mean, look, we're Manchester United. We are basically the Barcelona of Spain. We are the PSG of France. We are the Juventus of Italy. We are the Bayern Munich of Germany. And yet, for the last 8 years, we've been acting like the Everton of the Premier League. We've not always even been in the top 4. So I've got to say that Barcelona and Real Madrid will react. They will react. And they will get back because that's what they are. They're football clubs. They're football institutions that not only have to win La Liga, they have to be challenging for the Champions League. So however they do it, I wouldn't, people say they'll never get back because of the debt. They'll find a way to get back. They will find a way to get back. But until they do, I'm enjoying bantering them because we've had to put it up with them for years. And The more people try and moan about it, the more I'm going to banter. That's just the way it is. You are right, Mark, because a mate of mine says he supports Barcelona because of Ronaldinho, says Daniel Bezants. And also, I'm from Cork and my cousin has been flip-flopping between Liverpool, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid for the last few years. This season has been the worst of his life. I'll probably see him in a City kit next, says Joseph Tyrrell. Are there actually fans that you know that flip-flop between clubs? Because I don't actually know anybody throughout my whole life that has changed the club that they support. A mate of mine I assume he's still a Liverpool fan, because I grew up in Nottingham. He always had all the Liverpool kits with candy on it, and he was a really good mate of mine, still is. I couldn't stand Liverpool, and when we used to play World Cup and that, I used to I'd just be determined to beat him if I had a Liverpool kit on. But he goes to Forest a lot now because he's got kids and they're Forest fans, so I think he just enjoys taking his kids to the football. But he's not a Liverpool fan. I think he's still a Liverpool fan, but I don't think he's. I still think he is a Liverpool fan, but I've never had anybody who changed like in front of my eyes. Oh, one day they're supporting Liverpool and the next day they're supporting Man City. I support Chelsea, but I live in Scotland, but my dad's from London, which is why I support Chelsea. Love the videos, Mark, says Mackenzie Manini. The reason Madrid and Barcelona has got more Champions League is because they pretty much can play their second gear every league game except each other and prioritise the Champions League, says Sheikh. And Mark, lived in Spain for 15 years, Malaga season ticket holder for 8 years, watching mid-table teams even back then was painful. EPL been better for years, says Daniel Harding. Well, yeah, I think Daniel's spot on there. The Premier League is the best league in the world. The Spanish league for a long time is about probably 3 or 4 teams, and then the rest of it's just very easy. And magically there are a bunch of Juve fans popping up out of nowhere after Ronaldo signs, says Sola. Yeah. Well, look at the revenue Juventus made when Ronaldo went there. This is a modern thing. I'm not going to criticise it. I don't understand it, but there are people who support managers and there are people who support team players. I'm Barca fan, so laugh now. When we come back, you will never enjoy your football life. Laporte back, roll back the years. Visa Barcelona, says Camo. I think you're right, mate. So that's the whole point, isn't it? I don't know why people get so arsey about it. Is not a big part of football the banter and enjoyment. Look, I'm a Man United fan. I had 90. What was it? 90. When did we win our first league title? So early 90s to 2013. 20 years of just amazing. And I knew it would come to an end. And I knew we would get bantered. My only frustration as a Man United fan is not that it came to an end. It's just how it came to an end. We never should have fallen as far as we did. And that's because of our owners. That was unacceptable. But, the banter you get from rival fans, you've got to take it on the chin. You have to, because that's just part of it. Because it makes winning more important. It makes the comeback more important. Where would Atletico Madrid finish in the Premier League, says Matthew Larney? I think they'd be around where Spurs and West Ham are. I think they'd be around sort of 6th, 7th, something like that. Yeah. The timer needs to be turned off. Yeah. It's not good. It's not. They're not good at the moment. Look. Let's forget about the Premier League and La Liga thing for a moment, and let's be honest and say, if you watch the first leg, and we did a watch along for that, so maybe we watched it together, or if you're watching this now, we're 3/4 of this tie through. We've had a whole game in the first leg, and we're half time in the second game, and Chelsea have been the better team for the vast majority of every half of football. The only reason it's not 3 or 4-0 is because Atletico Madrid are doing what Atletico Madrid do, and that is parking the bus and trying to hit on the brake. Personally, a Sporting Lisbon fan, but I love watching your streams. Keep up the good work, and you can thank me for Bruno when you're back on top, says Thomas. Well, you're back on top as well. It's weird, isn't it? Bruno Fernandes, what a player. But he leaves Sporting Lisbon and you're top. To me, Mark, Premier League is the hardest league to win. Look how many teams can win it. Every country around the world is out of 3 teams, says Daniel. Well, you know what? I think Bayern Munich are the best team in the world, but there's only one team that's going to win the Bundesliga. Fair play to the Italian league this year, because it was always Juventus, and Inter Milan and AC Milan have made a game of it. The Bundesliga is always going to be Bayern Munich because it's a monopoly for them. Fair play to Rangers for breaking the monopoly of Celtic. PSG, it's a monopoly. And La Liga is just a watered down monopoly, isn't it? It's basically Real Madrid or Barcelona every year, and it might be Atletico Madrid this year, but the Premier League, I mean, I think the Premier League, as I said in my video, is in a very big danger of it becoming a monopoly, and that's the thing that worries me about the Premier League and Manchester City. But then again, Chelsea do have the spending power to make it a little bit different, I suppose. God, my Man City are ruining football video is number 6 on trending in the UK. Well, the thing is though, just watch the video if you're a Man City fan and then see if you actually do disagree, because you might disagree on some parts, but a lot of it is actually quite complimentary to Man City fans. It's just about the bigger picture. It's only fair Ronaldo finished his scoring career with my United, as United we stand. And look, can I just say to Man City fans as well, because I know this is a Manchester United fan, what's the best title you've ever won? You know what it is. It's Aguero, the last kick of a game where you're not going to win the title. Now, as a United fan, I turned the telly off and I didn't watch Sky Sports for 2 months. I was gutted. Absolutely gutted. But the reason the Champions League was so amazing was because we won it late on. The reason beating Arsenal that year was so amazing was because we did it 10 men against a fantastic Arsenal side. City are winning it easy. And that's fine, and I'm sure you're enjoying that. But I spoke to a Liverpool fan when they won it, and they said it was nice to win it. It was amazing to win it because we haven't won it for 30 years. But God, we wish we'd won it against United going head to head, because that's the dream. Everybody wants to win. But, the wins when it's close are the best wins. Do you think the days of players joining Real Madrid and Barca from top EPL sides have gone, says Neil? No, I don't, because there is still this weird thing. We had it with Ronaldo. I think Liverpool would have had it with Salah and Mane if it hadn't been for COVID. There are a lot of players that grow up wanting to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, and I think Real Madrid and Barcelona will always have that. I mean, Man United lost Ronaldo because of it. Ronaldo, if he hadn't been a Real Madrid fan, I don't think he would have left United. He'd won the Champions League. We were getting to Champions League finals. He was dominating things. He was loved. But it was that desire to go and play for Real Madrid, and you can't stop that. No way is that a penalty for me. He hardly even touches him. Where would United and Arsenal finish in La Liga? I think Man United would win La Liga, and I think Arsenal would come second or third behind us. I don't rate La Liga at the moment. I think the facts are there. But, people will say you're having a laugh. But I would say, how can United not win La Liga when Chelsea have played Atletico Madrid off the pitch twice and Atletico Madrid are top? And United destroyed Real Sociedad as well. So, look, I'm fully aware of Man United's limitations, but Man City would win La Liga by about 40 points. They would. They wouldn't lose to anybody. They'd do invincibles. La Liga is not good at the moment, and any real Barcelona fan and Real Madrid fan will tell you this. They know there's a lot of frustration in Spain. There is a lot of anger in Spain. Barcelona fans and Real Madrid fans are very, very unhappy about how their clubs are being run and how they've managed to fall off. And to be fair, Barcelona and Real Madrid fans, they expect to win La Liga. They want to be the biggest club in the world, and they're nowhere near either of that at the moment. Have you heard the latest news that Zlatan will start tomorrow? Zlatan versus Lindelof, Ibra hat-trick incoming. I'm worried about it, Elias, but watch along tomorrow night on the United Stand. Serious non-troll question. Just started watching you for the last 6 months, but why are you a fan of Man United if you're not from Manchester United? Also not trolling, says Mark Goldbridge's toenail. Yeah, of course you're not trolling, Mark Goldbridge. Mate, I'm not even going to answer your question because you're clearly being a troll. And the evidence is out there, and I've said it many times before. I don't need to justify myself to you. And also what you're basically saying is that people can't support football clubs if they're not from that city, which isn't worth even a reply. It's just a twat comment. Chelsea fan here, loving life at the moment. Do you think Chelsea have a chance of going to the final in Istanbul unbeaten and have only conceded 2 goals in 13? I think Chelsea have got a very good chance. I would say that the favourites are Man City, Bayern Munich and PSG, and I think Chelsea have got a good chance. Hi, I donated a few days ago saying I wasn't feeling so well because of a girl. I'm doing a bit better, and watching you always makes me laugh. Thanks, says Official Church. Thank you very much. What do you think, having a salary caps or strictly limiting transfer payments like American sports easier to manage the financial play? Be too hard to bring in, David. They'd go to the bloody court of human rights and everything footballers would. I'm worried about Bruno because he said he would love to walk in Cristiano's footsteps. That's why he came to United. Do you think he would go to Madrid? I think he will leave, Daniel. I think he will leave if we don't provide a platform for him. Not quite yet. I'd give him another year or two before he starts angling for a move, but would you blame him if he did? One thing I did want to talk about, please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. One thing I did want to talk about was that I lost direction because of a super chat. When I was growing up, I never ever encountered, we're 200 subscribers away from 341,000, by the way, so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But when I was growing up, Cooking with Goldbridge is back on Friday. Somebody asked when that's back. I'm cooking it tomorrow, so it'll be all edited and everything for Friday. But when I was growing up, I never encountered anybody who supported a player over a club or a manager. Now, when Man United got Jose Mourinho, I noticed an influx of fans because we do United Stand in the live comments, and they opened. And we even had somebody on the call-ins who said, "I'm a Man United fan because Mourinho's here. I just support Mourinho." And there are football fans who just follow players and managers in the case of probably Mourinho and Pep, which to me is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But I do see it a lot in the United fan base. And I think, with Ronaldo, if you're going to get it with Mourinho, you're going to get it with Ronaldo and you're going to get it with Messi because they're the greatest players, in my lifetime. But at Man United, you see it all the time. There are people that genuinely, I think, support Pogba over Manchester United. I think there are genuinely people out there that do that. And I'm not saying it's wrong. We never had that when I was growing up. So yeah, I think if Messi left Barcelona and went to Man City would get, maybe that's a good idea for Man City because they get a load of fans, which is something they've been unable to buy really. And I'm not even joking there. Man City have got fans, of course they have. I mean, when they were in League One, I probably know more about Man City than some of their fans now. When Man City got relegated to League One, they were pulling in 30,000. As an attendance. So Man City have always had a decent following, but they don't have a Chelsea following or a United following or a Liverpool following or an Arsenal following, and that's what their owners are trying to buy with the success that they put in. So, I actually think legit, if they did take a Messi to Man City, they would boost. There'd be a lot more people wearing Man City kits. Darryl from Swindon for a start. That solves Darryl's problem. La Liga's crap. What do I do? Oh, Messi's gone Man City. Get me in Sky Blue. Mark, maybe remember my name. I'm your biggest fan. Says Invisible. Thank you very much. I can't remember what I was going to do there. But is this game over? 2-0. I think if Chelsea were to score another, if Chelsea score another, it's over. I think if Atletico get a goal, it's squeaky bum time because they do have an away goal, and then another goal would cause problems potentially for Chelsea. But ultimately, the tie should be over because Chelsea have been the better side. They've absolutely wiped the floor with them in a footballing sense. And as I said in the first half, I know 2-0 is not wiping the floor with anybody, but they've absolutely dominated them. If you've watched these games, they've not been tight. And Atletico Madrid, or people who don't want Chelsea to win, could say it should have been a penalty. And look, maybe it could have been a penalty, but for me, I felt it was very, very soft. And would have been, undeserved in a certain sense because that's the tactics of a very undeserving manager. I think Simeone, I've never liked Simeone anyway because of what he did to Beckham, got him sent off. And I think his football is... I don't dislike Simeone as a person. I'm talking about footballing tactics. I don't like his tactics. I think it's a total waste to have people like João Felix and Luis Suarez in your team. And as I said, I think they'd be better off with Crouch and Akinfenwa up front because you are just misusing that talent when you just sit back and park the bus. And he's done it for 2 games. And if they'd got a penalty and it had gone 1-1 and then they'd parked their bus and kept it at 1-1 and gone through, Chelsea would have been the better side, but Atletico Madrid would have got through with negative tactics, which, they deserve to go through, but I just don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like to see that. Anyway, second half's about to kick off. I think the interesting story from this game is that there's been big question marks about Ziyech, Havertz and Werner, and the goal had all three of them involved in it. The two key passes and then the goal. They'll go for it second half, says Earhart's. They're a painful team to watch, Atletico Madrid. There's been plenty of times that I wanted Atletico Madrid to beat Real Madrid in the Champions League final a few years ago. I'd rather Atletico Madrid win the title than Barcelona or Real Madrid because it's a change. But God, wanting them to win things and then actually watching them win things, it's painful. They're such a painful team to watch. That guy says salty Bridge. Salty for what? That La Liga's shit. I'm not salty. I've got no reason to be salty at all. Salty that Man City are a better team than Manchester United, but it's just a fact. I'm not salty about it. It is what it is. I'm salty about the fact that my club is owned by businessmen, but that's got nothing to do with Man City or La Liga. Man United would win La Liga, have a laugh, and Arsenal wouldn't be above Sevilla. They are way better, says Sad. Manchester United would win La Liga, you're having a laugh. Said, you're having a laugh. Get your Messi kit off, have a wash, and maybe change it for a Man City one, because La Liga's finished. And how can you say that Man United wouldn't win La Liga when we battered Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid are being battered by Chelsea, who are fourth, and United are way ahead of them? Just get into reality, mate. Stop living in the History Channel and open your eyes to what's actually happening. Barcelona are poor. Any real Barcelona fan knows it. Mark, do you think Chelsea can be a Premier League title challenger next season, says Angie? I think they will be. I actually thought Chelsea would be this year. I think the only reason they're not is because it didn't go right under Lampard. But since Tuchel's come in, it's just gone wrong, hasn't it? It's gone right. Chelsea. Look, there are some United fans who look at the business that United... In fact, I'm going to write this down tomorrow. I'm going to bring it in on the show tomorrow. There were some United fans, and I said it at the time, they'll jump on anything to try and make a point. And what they'd said was that this proves that you don't need to spend money to be successful, because Ollie got no money and he's doing a much better job than Frank Lampard. And I was like, look, with all due respect, I think that's such a stupid argument, because if you're offering me good shot by Werner, good save by Oblak, fantastic save by Oblak. It was a really difficult angle for Werner to shoot from. Shoot he did, and Oblak got down really low and just kept it out. And he's miles onside, Werner. I mean, there's a defender there, but it's the angle he shoots from. He should never be scoring from that. Actually, it's a standard save for Oblak. It just looked a bit better than it was. Just got down low. But what we're saying is that if you offered me Chelsea's summer transfer window last year, I would take it every day of the week and Friday, because it was an amazing transfer window. Lampard struggled because he just didn't know what to do with it. I think he was a bit inexperienced for it. I think many managers would be. I think Solskjaer would struggle with the amount of options that Chelsea had, and Lampard struggled with it. But Tuchel's come in and he's handled it perfectly well. So I just think that Chelsea don't even need to add that much. I mean, imagine if they had a Haaland into this team. They're not that far away, Chelsea. They're missing Jorginho and Mount tonight, and they've still got all that quality on the pitch and on the bench, so they're not far away. I just don't know that they're good enough, regardless of who they bring in, to get near Man City, because Man City's side's on a different path at the moment. Havertz, if he switches it, that's got to be a yellow card. How did Manchester United go from dominating the Premier League in Europe to being the next AC Milan? Is it the end of an era and the start of a new one for City? It is while the Glazers are there, FBB. At the end of the day, that's why we're not where we should be. What's for dinner, Mark? Hope your family's doing okay, says Simon Person. It's the third time I've told people my dinner tonight. Potato pancakes, a lovely salad with a dressing, and then salmon with creme fraiche. Very nice. Newcastle career mode is back tomorrow. Owen, yes. Yeah, I just couldn't fit it in today. That's what she said. I don't think Mbappe is going to Liverpool, but in fact, I would say the same thing to Liverpool fans as I've said to United fans. United are definitely not going to get Haaland, and I can't see Liverpool getting Mbappe. Where's the money coming from for it? I know there was talk of a load of money coming into Liverpool, but I just can't see it, to be honest with you. Aspilicueta trying to be a BTEC Valencia with the tape on his hand, says Dylan Hanafi. We all know that City will most likely run away with the league next season. The bench they have plus a transfer window and we're all screwed. Yeah, I mean, I'd predict Man City are going to win the league next year again. I don't think it'll be long before City do 3 in a row, like United did. I mean, and as I said, they could well do the treble this year. Aspie's got a broken finger, Lewis says. There you go. Saul Niguez, I barely noticed him on the pitch. We've barely noticed their midfield, have we? When's Stephen Hendry playing Ronnie O'Sullivan, sports fan? I didn't even know that. I mean, O'Sullivan will batter him, really. But what a lovely bit of control that was by Kovacic. Took it out of the sky like a magnet. Where do you think Haaland's going to go, James? I would predict the big superpowers of spending money. I think, let's be honest, and this is what I'm on about ruining football. The reality is, where's Haaland going to go? He's going to go the place he can get the most money, because that's what Riola's all about. Where's he going to get the most money? PSG, Chelsea, Man City. I don't think Barcelona can do it. I don't think Real Madrid can do it. I definitely don't think United can do it. And I don't think Juventus can do it. So, and Bayern Munich won't do it. It's not their model to do that. So, lovely play here by Chelsea. Good tackle, though. Mark, do you think football is in a better place now than it was 20 years ago? If not, then why? Says Durant Chapman. Well, it's in a worse place, isn't it? Because 20 years ago, Man United was still winning titles. So, I mean, the honest answer is football for a consumer is better than it is now. The advances in coverage, I think the fitness levels are even higher. I'd forgotten, I've just realised I forgot that. I forgot all about him. Dembele, from Ziyech, blocked. Dembele, he was at Lyon, wasn't he? Really good with the shot. Mark, do you think you have the best job in the world? To say no, I think Ronaldo and Messi have got the best jobs in the world. I think any footballer's got the best job in the world who gets paid to play the sport, which is what I always wanted to do. I don't know whether I'd want to be a manager. I think it's a really hard job and a thankless task, and I think I've got respect for anybody who does it. But yeah, I forgot about him. He used to get linked to United a lot. I've forgotten he'd gone to Atletico Madrid. My score prediction was 2-1 in this, but it's obviously 1-0 at the moment, so it could still happen. As a diehard Barcelona fan, I agree with you. This Real Sociedad and Sevilla have 100 million and 180 million, but they don't use it. Leonardo. I didn't know they had all that money. I think the big problem that a lot of people always had with La Liga, and I don't know whether it's still the same, I think it is that their TV deal is set up so that Real, and I remember this being mentioned before, and I don't know whether it's changed. When La Liga used to be the best league in the world because Barcelona and Real Madrid dominated, one of the big arguments from Premier League fans was that you dominate because you dominate the funds in your league. Like the TV deal for Barcelona and Real Madrid isn't that they take what the percentage they should take, whereas in the Premier League, we share our money out. But in the long term, I think that's made the Premier League stronger. I've worked out what Ollie's doing on his iPad. He's listening to some Simeone's Parking the Bus for Dummies. Ollie is his biggest fan, says Mark Dobby. And how you doing, Mark? Love your stream, says Owen. You will get so many subscribers because you deserved it. And I have a friend who was a Man United fan, then Liverpool fan, and now he's a Chelsea fan. Is Werner down the left-hand side? Another corner. I mean, the first 10 minutes of this second half, it's followed the same path, hasn't it? Chelsea are the better team. It's not just about winning. It's about... Mark, your jumper is so swag, says Tom McDonald. I had to search for this jumper a couple of years ago. I had exactly what I wanted in mind. I didn't want Boss on it necessarily, but I wanted a black jumper with like gold embroidery on it, and this was the one I found. There's not actually that many jumpers that have got it. Mark, I ask you about being a fan of Man United fan. If you're not from Man United, I'm not a troll. I have motism, don't troll or sarcasm. I don't troll or sarcasm, says Mark Goldbridge. Okay. Well, I'm a Manchester United fan because... Well, I would say back to you, why are you asking a question about why does somebody support a team when they weren't born there? Because that is a question that just doesn't have any relevancy. It's not the world we live in. So, you know... The world is a diverse place now, and in football, it's. I mean, I told a story half an hour ago about a friend of mine who, in the late '80s, was a Liverpool fan. Well, we're not in the late '80s now, and whoa, good shot by Ziyech, tipped over by our black. So, I just think support this local thing is quite irritating to a lot of people because it's just an irrelevant thing. If you happen to be born 5 minutes away from Stamford Bridge, and you choose to be a Chelsea fan, well, that must be great because it's just you live so close to it. But if you're born in India and you decide to be a Chelsea fan, does that make you any less than the person who lives 5 minutes away? Or is it just a little bit by like being born Prince Charles? You know, he had no control in that. He just was born and he's born into royalty. I think being a local fan must be great because, you know, you live near the club that you support, but you don't have to support the local team. There's a big chance you will support the local team because you might have family members that support that team. But I think that I think you support who you support, and there's normally a good reason why you do it. And a lot of the time, I think it's to do with family. It won't be because you're Daryl who just wants to be edgy and picks the best team with the best player. I know people who support. I was talking about today. I know Irish people a lot. When I lived in Ireland, it was half and half really. Man United or Liverpool dominated. Man United and Liverpool were the fans when I lived in Ireland in the early noughties. But there were a few Aston Villa fans, and I always respected that because they supported Villa because Paul McGrath played for Villa and Ray Houghton played for Villa, and that was when they obviously played in the World Cup around '94. So there's always reason why people support teams. They'll maybe watch them for the first time and go, that's the team I want to support. But Final Third Football says, Mark, Chelsea are outdoing Atletico. You know what? I wouldn't say it's a joy to watch because I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I did predict this. I said Chelsea are going to win this. Even Chelsea fans didn't really want to believe it. I was like, nah. I know La Liga. I know what it is now. It's not what people think. It's a little bit like Manchester United and AC Milan. They're not as bad as that yet. And I don't think Barcelona and Real Madrid fans will allow them to get that bad. They'll demand more. But the reality is, I knew La Liga wasn't the level that people think it is. And I knew, all right, Chelsea are fourth. Chelsea might not even finish top four. But they've played Atletico Madrid, the best team in La Liga, off the park. I mean, Suarez is coming off. He's done nothing. They've played them off the park twice. You know, I actually... That first game between Man United and Sociedad as well, that surprised me. I thought, Sociedad have got some good players. Absolutely dominated him in the first leg. Mark, where in Ireland did you live, says Richard Boyle. Malahide, which is just North Dublin, just past Portmarnock. And do you think the art of defending is being lost in the modern game? And I mean, we all can't deny defenders are much worse than 10, 20 years ago. I think it's a good point. And I do think you're right. I mean, you go back to people like Costa Curta and Baresi and Maldini, even like people like Vidic and Rio, Terry, Carvalho, just so many good centre-backs. And I don't think, to be fair, as good as Van Dijk is and as good as Koulibaly is, yellow card. They're not on the level of those sort of players. Suarez has gone off, yeah. Yellow card for Atletico Madrid player. Kieran Anderson says, hi Mark, how's it going? Liverpool fan from when I was born because of my dad, but grew up watching the likes of Hazard, Drogba and Lamps, then loved Chelsea. Says, there you go. Messi says La Liga is finished. It's declining. We're in the time of La Liga's decline. Yeah, but as I said, I just think the way that Real Madrid and especially Barcelona fans as well, they boo Casillas, they boo Ronaldo, they boo their club greats when it's not going well. What do you think they're going to do about what's going on now? What do you think they're going to do about the fact that they're nowhere near the top of football? They don't just sit there and go, oh, well, it's our time to go into decline. They'll demand the president gets sacked. They'll demand that players get signed. And the amazing thing about the presidential elections at Real Madrid and Barcelona is that when they're voting for people, these people are. It's like being elected the president of America or the prime minister of the UK. They've got their bloody party notes and what they're going to do, and they're saying if you vote me and I'm going to get Haaland, I'm going to get Messi to stay. God, I wish we had that at United. If we're incompetent, it's like, well, we're just taking more money out of the club. They're not accountable to anybody. Shiv says, I don't want to offend you, but what position do you think you would be if Bruno did not come? I think if Man United didn't have Bruno Fernandes this season, and with the injury to Paul Pogba and the lack of form of Martial, I think that we would be totally dependent on Donny van der Beek, and we don't know anything about Donny van der Beek because he's not been used. So I'd have to be honest and say I think United would be probably down where teams like somewhere between Spurs and Arsenal, to be honest with you, because Bruno Fernandes has been a huge part of our success. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer bought Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best players in Europe this year, and I would argue that if you took Jamie Vardy out of Leicester's side, they would be down where Arsenal are. I would argue that if you took Harry Kane out of Spurs' side, they would be even lower than they are. Manchester United, I'm more than happy to answer that question because this is the big problem Man United have. I can't spend all my time on United Stand saying that the club need to back the manager and build a better squad, and then look at Man City's bench and say that all that team would go into our first team, and look at Chelsea's squad and go, most of that bench would go into our first team. Manchester United's squad is fragile because of the board, not because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We don't actually have a very good squad. So if you take Bruno Fernandes out of it and Pogba's injured, we're in trouble. And that's because the board don't back the manager with the players that they need. So yeah, you're right, we would be down there. But a lot of clubs would be like down there. The only clubs that are fine if they lose a player. I mean, look at Chelsea tonight. Mason Mount's arguably having as good a season for Chelsea than Bruno's had. Mason Mount's out and they've got bloody Havertz and Ziyech. Man United lose Anthony Martial and Cavani, and they've got Dan James playing. We lose Pogba and we've got McFred in the midfield. So, I think you make a good point. Thoughts on Rudiger, Marks, as well. Every time I see Rudiger, I always really like him. I was talking to Alex Goldberg on his podcast, and they had Neil Robertson, the snooker player, who's also a Chelsea fan as well. And we were talking about players we'd take from Chelsea. And I said Kovacic, definitely. But I said, we do need a centre-back. I always like Rudiger. And they were telling me, yeah, he's done all right, but he's not that good. Chelsea fans don't rate Rudiger. And I have to trust them because they watch him a lot more. But every time I watch him, I actually think he's good. But, obviously I don't watch him all the time. I can't do West Ham versus Arsenal as a watch along, Anas, because it's literally about an hour and a half before United play Leicester in the FA Cup, so I just can't do it times wise. I'm doing Man City Everton in the quarterfinals on Saturday at 5:30, and then obviously United Leicester on Sunday. Oh, and of course United versus AC Milan tomorrow night, massive game. Join me on the watch along for the United Stand for that. But this has been great. I've really enjoyed this. I don't actually mind Chelsea as much as I did under Mourinho. And I didn't mind Chelsea when Ancelotti was there, to be fair. I didn't really find Sarri that relatable. I found him a little bit dull. I didn't dislike him, but I just found him a bit dull. But I never minded Chelsea under Lampard. I actually quite liked the fact that Chelsea had Lampard and United had Solskjaer, and then Arsenal had Arteta. And I felt there was a very big similarity between the three clubs, and it was very interesting to see their development because they had players like that. But managers in a very similar situation. But I think under Tuchel, it's really interesting what he's done. I think Tuchel will do well, but I think the tweet's out there. I said I think that he will. I think he will be sacked within 2 years because Abramovich is ruthless. I don't know what Atletico Madrid are moaning about the ball being put out here. It's a head injury. Milan kick-off time tomorrow. I think it's 8 o'clock. I'll double check. Atletico Madrid are moaning here because the referee stopped the play. It's a clear head injury for Zuma. You've got to stop the play. United tomorrow night, it's 8 o'clock against AC Milan. Yeah, 8 o'clock kick-off. None of this 8:15 shit. So, yeah, Saturday I'm doing Everton Man City at 5:30. And then on Sunday I'm doing Leicester against Man United at 5. And then we're into international break, aren't we? Couple of good Premier League games, though. West Ham, Arsenal and Villa Spurs. I mean, are they big games now? I mean, they're not really. None of those teams are getting top 4 now. Those dreams are starting to die, aren't we, now we get to the business end of the season. Forest got beat 2-0 by Norwich. QPR beat Millwall 3-2. Barnsley beat Wickham 3-1. Birmingham beating Reading 2-1. Blackburn are 0-0 with Bristol, and Sheffield Wednesday 1-1 with Huddersfield Town. Chelsea women beat Everton women. Sevilla beat Elche 2-0. Just having a look at the results. There's a head injury, as you know. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner to do that. Thanks everyone who's tuned in. I've actually really enjoyed this stream, and we've still got 25 minutes to go. I mean, it might not feel like it's over because Atletico Madrid haven't done anything, but I tell you what, in fairness to Atletico Madrid, though, can I just say that last season when they beat Liverpool, they were so better than this year. I don't know. Thanks. I don't know what's gone wrong. 100 subscribers away from 341,000, so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner for that. Jacob says, I genuinely believe Atletico Madrid could play another 2 hours versus Chelsea and still wouldn't score. Well, be careful. There's still 23 minutes and things can bite you on the arse. Does the FA Cup matter less to you if City go out to Everton? Says 2 crazy kids. Yeah, I only want to win the FA Cup to stop City winning the treble. I'll be absolutely honest about that. There's a lot of United fans. I mean, I'll pay City their dues. They're a very good team with a very good manager and an amazing squad. How they've got there, I think, is a little bit, ruining football, like I said. But it is what it is. And, I'm growing up and, accepting enough to realise that it's a reality and you've got to deal with the reality. But there are a lot of United fans who are very relaxed. They're like, Man City won't win a treble. They won't do it. And I'm like, well, they've won the league. That's one. The Champions League, I think they're good enough to win it. Of course they can win the FA Cup because they've won the league. And they've got Spurs in the Carabao Cup. So not only could they win a treble, they could win a quadruple, which trumps a treble. So, and that would be, you've got to deal with it. It would be devastating. It would be absolutely devastating to happen. And the frustrating thing for me would be that they'd done it in a season where there's no fans in the ground, because forget the money that Man City have got. I've said my piece about that. But to take away Man United's treble in a season where there's no fans in the ground, that has a huge effect on how easy it is. Look, Man City have got 2 first teams, and they're playing away games against teams with no fans in it. Well, that's a massive advantage. When you're going to the Emirates and you're playing Arsenal and there's no fans there, Arsenal don't even have the advantage of having fans there. So, Mönchengladbach, when you're going to Germany and you're playing them in an empty stadium, it's basically an exhibition and they've got the better players. The advantage isn't there, is it? But Daniel says you sound like a whinging babe. Well, I'm sorry, Daniel, that you're not mature enough to listen to what I'm actually saying, because I actually said that, realistically, if City win it, you've got to acknowledge it. But I'm saying it would be devastating as a United fan for somebody to take our record. That's not being a whingy baby. That's actually being a mature adult and discussing that you would be disappointed for somebody to take your record. And what I'm then saying is, which is very obvious, but Daniel might not be able to realise this, is that what's a better treble? A treble where somebody does it by going away against opposition fans and doing it, or a treble or a quadruple where somebody's doing it with 2 first teams and there is no advantage for the away teams that are always going to be the underdog against you anyway. I think it's harder to do with fans in the ground. But if it happens, it happens. And it will be celebrated as the best feat ever done in English football, which it will be. But I think it's cheapened slightly by the fact that there's no fans in the ground, which have a big impact. And I'm one of the United fans that actually thinks that there's a big chance of them doing it. Some United fans, and I hope they're right, are very relaxed saying they won't do it. So Kante's been fantastic tonight, hasn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Deserves a tweet, actually. This is easily... I mean, I think... I wouldn't take Kante at United because I think he's on that path down like when we got Matic. But I think tonight he's been magnificent, really. No, Justin, you're right. I said Kante was finished, and I think he is. Oh, I mean, God. Here we go again. The flip-flop generation. I mean, they must walk around in flip-flops even in the winter. Like, you know, if you say something now, you have to stand by it all the time. Or if somebody has one good game, they're suddenly back. Like, Dan James is pretty average as a United player. If he scores tomorrow, there'll be United fans saying we can build a team around him. Those sort of fans just amaze me. But, no, what I do think Kante's on the decline. I think there's 2 years of evidence to suggest he's on the decline. And therefore, he's finished at the level that he used to be. But, obviously, he was a world-class player. And I think tonight he's shown that he can do it still. But it's like when you're a... It just happens, doesn't it? You know, when you're in your prime, you can play 30 brilliant games a season. As you get older and you start to decline, then 30 games a season becomes 10, becomes 5, becomes none, you retire. I think tonight, Kante has played fantastically well. I don't think he's going to do it for the next 30 games for Chelsea, and I think Chelsea fans will tell you that. But tonight, he's been very, very impressive. Fame says, hey Mark, hope you're well. You're my favourite YouTuber by a mile. Ignore the haters. Can you please shout out my clothing range label? Boo. I don't know whether that means something. I don't just read 2 words out together that might mean something. I'm sorry. So I can't read that out. But people can read the super chat if they want. Mark, I prefer Van Dijk to Vidic. He has no flaws to his game. He's just so good. This coming from a Villa fan. Love to stand for you guys. Love debates, says AS. Well, the funny thing is, the Man City video I put up today, it's not a one-off. There's going to be a couple of those going up a week. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. If you've not seen the City video, check it out. It's not just City that are going to get analysed. I've got a few things I want to start bringing into the channel as well. I've just actually... Yeah. Fame... I knew it. You know when people start a super chat with, I think you're the best YouTuber ever? Well, I'm clearly not. And you just know they're setting you up. Werner. Clothing brand was a troll. I knew it was, Keith. I knew it. Mark, it's not a coincidence that all of the league's consistent winners have more competition now. Its fans are not in the ground. We are seeing this with PSG, Juventus and Bayern. But I think it is a coincidence, final third. I think Man City have benefited from fans not being in the ground to a certain extent, because how can you not? I mean, Ollie said it when we played Chelsea at Old Trafford and when we played Arsenal. I think that I can only speak as a United fan. And I know we've got fans of other clubs, but can you think of results you've had this season that wouldn't have happened if you'd had fans in the ground? And I think about Sheffield United, where we lost, and we were losing for a very long time. And I think of some of the performances with half an hour to go, and I think about what 75,000 fans would have been demanding, and I don't think that game would have just been allowed to peter out the way it did. And I think United have had a few results like that this season at Old Trafford, where 75,000 fans would have had an impact. And I think we do ourselves a disservice as fans because the impact a crowd has on. I mean, I've played football with 10 people watching, and I've played football. I think the most I've ever played in front of is about 200 people. I can't imagine what it's like to play in front of 20,000 or 50,000, because 200 people, you can hear a lot of it and you can feel it. Now, and when I say you can hear it and feel it, you hear the bad things, but when you hear the good things, it just gives you another 10% of energy. And yeah, I think fans in the ground have a huge impact. But I think, as I said before, the reason Man City are winning this title is because they're the best team. But I also think that teams are absolutely exhausted and they don't have the squads. And Man City's squad, when you look at their bench, have got so much quality that they can rotate. I mean, as I said the other day, I watched them play against West Ham. West Ham are a decent side. They're what are they, 5th? And he left half his team out. But you wouldn't have known he left his team out and half his team out until you looked at his bench. And it was like, oh my God, he's got bloody Fernandinho on the bench. He's got Laporte on the bench. He's got Torres on the bench. He's got bloody Sterling on the bench. He's got Foden on the bench. And I think Sheev makes a good point. I think Chelsea should be a lot closer to Man City when you look at their squad, and so should Spurs. Spurs have got a good squad as well. The difference is Lampard blew it and Tuchel's come in too late, and Mourinho just parked the bus with it. Both those squads should be higher than they are. I think Spurs have got a very good bench. Man United shouldn't be higher than they are. I think Man United we're second best. You know, we can't really moan about our season. We're closer to City than anybody. And I think Leicester have exceeded expectation again. But Chelsea should be a lot higher in the league. That squad, I actually thought there was a time in December that Chelsea were going to go on and win the league. They were up there and then they just bowled it. So it'll be interesting what they do next season. 13 minutes to go. Looks like I'm going to be right. Madrid, been no threat at all, have they? No threat at all. And we've basically got the final 8, haven't we, in the Champions League now? I don't know who it is, though. I want to have a look. Let's have a look. I know some of them, but I just want to see. So we've got Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Porto, Dortmund, Liverpool, PSG. That's the final 8. So everyone's going to want Porto. I would just like to see... I'd love to see Man City get Bayern Munich, PSG or Chelsea, because I think they'll give them a tough game, and then they're going to get a tough run to the final. And then if they win it, don't they? But I want to see City get tested, because if they're going to take the treble, I want to be able to say, well, who did you beat? Because United had a really tough run in '99, so I don't want to see Chelsea getting Porto and then the shittest team in the semi-final. I want to see them getting somebody good. But to be honest with you, if you don't get Porto and you don't get Dortmund, I think you're going to get a tough game, aren't you? I don't actually think Dortmund are that good. I think they've got some good players, but I don't think they're that good. I think ranking the favourites, I'd say it's obviously going to be Bayern, Man City, PSG. I'd then put Chelsea, Liverpool and Real Madrid in the next category, and then I'd put Dortmund and Porto at the bottom. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but that's how I'd rank it. Another interesting point is, without crowds, lower teams can set and talk and reorganise constantly. With crowds, they make mistakes under pressure, says AS. Interesting point, yeah. Hi, Mark. Can you call Ryan McKenna and Anne-Marie a bunch of prats, says Michael McKenna. And I agree with Shivan. I just don't think Dortmund... I think Dortmund have got amazing players, Haaland and Sancho, but I mean, look at where Dortmund are in the Bundesliga. I think Dortmund are another one of those frustrating teams that everybody supports, but actually, they're not actually that good. Like they're 5th in the Bundesliga, and I do think they'll finish in the top 4 and they'll get Champions League football. I think they'll finish above Eintracht Frankfurt, but they may even get 3rd place. But they've lost a lot of games this season. Dortmund, they've lost 9 games in the Bundesliga, which shouldn't happen. So yeah, I think Porto and Dortmund are the teams that you would like to get if you're Liverpool, Chelsea or Man City. Real Madrid, Liverpool or Chelsea would be in the next group. And then I think obviously the top three favourites are Man City, PSG and Bayern. And if I'm being harsh, I actually think Man City and Bayern are the favourites. I'm not sure PSG are as good as people think, having seen United play against them back in the autumn. And remember, we played against Neymar. Barcelona didn't play against Neymar. Man United played against Neymar and Mbappe, and we beat them once, and we should have beat them in the second game, really. But, you know, we are where we are. That's a reality. I'm not convinced PSG are as good as people think. Name the top three worst signings of this season, says Nathan Morton. Oh, God. You lot do it, and I'll confer. Tom McDonald says, hi Mark, that was my sister on the jumper comment. Never thought you'd read it out. I got a red card here for Savage. Savage by Savage. He's giving him a red card. Night night. Night night. Cheerio, La Liga. He's elbowed into Rudiger. My tweet is going to burn people. Well, you can't see what he's done there. That's not the camera angle at all. Nah, I don't even think that's a red card. That's not a red card, is it? I mean, it is, but it's silly. He's elbowed him in the stomach. Oh, I've got a chair behind me. So basically, Rudiger's behind Savage and he's gone like that. He's gone back with his elbow into his chest. Rudiger's a don, isn't he? He's a don. He's just winding somebody else up now. How can Chelsea fans not like Rudiger? I mean, Scott McTominay's made a career out of this. It's just winding people up and, you know, being passionate in a shirt. And I can't understand why Chelsea fans don't like Rudiger. Every time I've seen him, I like him as a player. Straight red as well. Fans are important in sports and college football in America as well. The quarterback doesn't have to worry about 100,000 fans screaming when calling plays, says Wyatt Smith. There's a lot of Chelsea fans saying they love Rudiger now. I do think it was a bit of a... You'd be pissed off if he gets sent off for that. But I suppose it is violent play. He did elbow back. And, you know, if he'd done that against Bilbo Baggins, he'd have took his head off. So it's only because Rudiger's tall it's hit him in the chest. And it's still violent, isn't it? It's petulance. As a manager, you'd be bloody furious. It's one of those soft red cards that just pisses you off as a fan. You should do a Fury versus Joshua watch along when it happens. I am, Joel. Definitely doing that. Definitely doing that. And they've got a 4v3 here, Chelsea. Oh, and Hudson-Odoi shoots and misses. Rudiger and Maguire would be a scary combo. So I think it would work. I do think that would work, Alexander. I do, yeah. I think you're right. I think it would work. Ibra says the referee's really bad. Well, bad or not, I think nobody could argue really with the score tonight. I think it's been a fair result. I don't think there's anything that can be said badly about that. And does anybody know? I'm just trying to have a look, but it'll probably take me ages to do this. Does anybody know what time the Champions League and Europa League draw is on Friday? I'm predicting it will be 11 o'clock and midday. And we'll do a Champions League draw on this channel at 11 o'clock on Friday, regardless. But I won't do a Europa League draw if United aren't in it. Life's too short. 11 a.m, yeah. It's normally 11 a.m and 12. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an exciting Champions League draw. It will be. Rudiger was awful for a long time for us, but I can't deny he's been class since Tuchel came in, and what he's just done there was class, says Marcus JK. And remember that blue tick journo trying to mug you off after first leg? Bet he's crying into his La Liga pillow now, says even someone needs to find that tweet. Oh, he deleted it. He deleted it anyway. Deleted it, mate. And Chelsea have completed it, mate. They're through. It's always nice when you get it right. I just feel that this has not been anything for me about Chelsea tonight. What this has been tonight is... It's not been about Chelsea. It's been about when the draw was made, knowing your football, knowing La Liga, knowing the Premier League, and knowing that the Premier League is stronger than La Liga. And has been for a couple of years, to be fair. I mean, Liverpool won it 2 years ago. Last year it was obviously Bayern Munich. But I think the Premier League has been stronger than La Liga for a few years now. But I think this is the chance we've had to really prove it. We've seen it tonight. Atletico Madrid, top of La Liga, the best team in the Liga. And Chelsea, not even the top. I'd say Chelsea at the moment are probably the second best team in the Premier League since Tuchel's come in. I think as a Man United fan, I could argue that. We played you. It was a draw. It was a very equal game. But I think there's no doubt on form that Chelsea are probably there with United at the moment in relation to... and they did draw against each other. But Chelsea got the better squad. So you could see this was going to happen. But I don't think even some Chelsea fans could see it. But for me, it was about Premier League exerting its authority. And it's done it. Ability, not just fitness. Technical ability has been better. Fitness has been better. And we saw it with Man United and Real Sociedad as well. We saw it in the early group stages as well. So yeah, I just it's interesting. But look, I've been asked to do this, and I'm more than happy to do it because you're right. Let me just have a quick look. And I would love it. I would love it. I mean, it's a bit like when it was a bit like Leicester when they won the Premier League, wasn't it? PSG are not actually top of the French league at the moment. It's Lille. But you know that PSG will win it. You know that's going to happen. It's a bit like Bayern Munich. Sometimes, they're not near the top. They're not going to win it. But at the business end, PSG will come through. They're second at the moment, but they're only 3 points off the top. Don't want to hear manager bounce. Credit to Tuchel, says Arsene. No, it's more than a manager bounce, isn't it? Now I think you get a manager bounce for your first 4 or 5 games when you've still got that bounce, and they've not conceded again as well. I think one of the things that Tuchel's done really cleverly, and I'm probably pronouncing his name. Look at Kante. Oh my God, gives it into Hudson-Odoi. Give it back to Kante. Greedy, but. Like they've got this is what I mean about Chelsea, right? Chelsea, the reason I predicted that Chelsea would finish second in the league at the start of the season, my top 4 prediction was Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United. And I wish I'd thought about it a little bit more because I just predicted it based on it's going to be a normal season. And I wish I'd thought about how many games people were going to have to pay. Because I think your predictions this season, and I forgive anybody who did what I did, I just looked at it based on ability. I didn't look on it on squad, and I think squad was always going to be very important. But the reason I did say Chelsea would get second is because I just saw how much quality they've got, and I thought their signings, Ziyech, I thought was going to be a revelation. He took a bit of time. Havertz was amazing. Werner hasn't done what I thought he was going to do as well. And they've got no Mason Mount tonight. They've got a front 3 of Ziyech and Werner and Havertz, and they've still brought on Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic. That's a front 6. A front 6. And that front 6, most of those start for most Premier League clubs. Who's that in the hat that they keep cutting to? Who is that in the hat? Is it Thiago? It's Thiago Silva, isn't it? I couldn't figure out who it was. I was like, it's not Mason Mount. Abramovich, billionaire, bought Chelsea in 03. They won the first title in 04. Isn't this exactly like City, all money? Why don't we call Chelsea fake, says Shantanu. Well, I can't call it Chelsea and Man City as destroying football, can I? It's all about bloody It's all about City because they're the ones who are at the top at the moment. I'm sorry for not going in on Chelsea as well. Maybe that'll be next season. Chelsea got to start winning first. But, you know, 5 minutes to go here. Chelsea win the Champions League. I'm just putting a tweet out there. I was just trying to figure out how to spell something. I just basically said, and I'll say it to you, Chelsea as an outsider for the Champions League. I say outsider because I don't think that even Chelsea fans want to be called as a firm favourite for it. But you've got Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic coming off the bench. You've got Mason Mount not even there. You've got Jorginho not even there. They've got... they're not conceding goals. They've got so much quality and depth. Why would they not be a contender to win the Champions League? Callum Donnelly, did you win anything on Cheltenham? I picked out Tiger Roll and put the kettle on. So I got 2 winners in a row, and I think they were both 8-1. Predict the future. Do you see Pulisic as a top player in the Premier League? As an American United fan, I still root for him to succeed, says TJ. I think Pulisic is a very, very good player. There's a good chance there for Atletico Madrid. João Felix probably should have scored. Could have set up a very interesting finish, to be honest. Tipped it over. But, yeah, they've got so much quality. I mean, look, I think I'm actually pleased that Tuchel's doing well at Chelsea because they're not really a threat for Man United. We're not in the Champions League, and I think United have already got top 4. So Chelsea aren't a threat for us. And, you know, the better Chelsea do, the more competition Man City get. So Giroud on the bench as well. Chilwell is coming on here. So I think Chelsea is still in the FA Cup. I can't remember them getting knocked out. Yeah, they've got Sheffield United, haven't they? So Chelsea's still in the FA Cup. Chelsea will beat Sheffield United. Obviously Man United. So, you know, Chelsea could do United fans a favour. I hope they do. I hope they do. Just somebody please stop Man City winning the treble. We've only got one chance. That's the FA Cup. We can't stop them in the league and we can't stop them in the Champions League. So, you know, actually, from a Man United point of view, it's good that Chelsea have ended the season well because it's just another threat in the Champions League. And I think that draw on Friday, I'm looking forward to doing the draw. That's the great thing about this channel, actually, is United might not be in the Champions League, but I can still take an interest in it. So, be very interesting to see. But you can see Man City getting Porto, and you can see Chelsea. Give it to Kante. Oh, I wanted Kante to score. Oh, what a finish. He's only just come on. Emerson, probably his first touch. Bangs it in on the bottom corner. Atletico Madrid down to 10 men. And they've just been caught on the break. And it's domination. Domination. And it's 2-0 for Chelsea. Absolute domination. And I've just put the tweet out there. Thank you and good night. I told you when the draw came out, the Prem is just too strong for La Liga at the moment. And it's true. It's been, and so it's come to pass. It's too strong. And it's a lovely goal by Emerson. He took it well. I wanted him to give it to Kante because Kante's been very, very good. But Thiago Silva there, hugging with Jorginho and Mount. I mean, 3 players there to come back as well. Thiago Silva. Tell you what, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be very, very excited about the end of your season. I mean, what I would say on the flip side is Liverpool are going to give you a race for top 4. And you've not got top 4 yet. But you could get top 4 Champions League and win the FA Cup. You could get no top 4, no Champions League and no FA Cup. So, but Chelsea at the moment, certainly one of the form teams in the Premier League, and therefore one of the form teams in Europe. Mark, you keep downplaying our magnificent victory against Spurs. We didn't have Aubameyang and Martinelli and they beat you 6-1. Yeah, you can watch Zayn on tomorrow night's show in the Europa League. Zayn, Arsenal's not been mentioned at all tonight. Apparently I'm obsessed with Arsenal. We've not mentioned Arsenal at all until you pipe up. But yeah, you're nowhere near this level, Zayn, I'm afraid. Nowhere near. I think Mark is a closet Chelsea fan, says Koja. I enjoyed that tonight. I enjoyed it as probably one of the first times in my life I've wanted a Premier League side to win in Europe. And I never want them to win because I've never been that. And I do know United fans and Liverpool fans who always want teams to do well who are English. I get that, but I don't normally. But tonight, I've got to say I quite enjoyed that Chelsea result because Atletico Madrid across 2 legs have been absolutely diabolical and they've been put to the sword by the Premier League and it's over. Through to the quarterfinals for Chelsea. There you go. Please smash a like on the video on your way out and do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I don't know whether we actually hit 341,000. We were 50 away. We were very, very close. But it's number 5 on trending. Man City are ruining football. You can probably see it on my homepage. If you've not watched it yet, you're missing out because everyone's talking about it. I don't want you to watch it because everyone's talking about it. I want you to watch it and just see, whether you're a Man City fan or not, just watch it and see if you agree with what I'm talking about. Thanks everyone for watching. Hi Mark, opinions on Joe Gomez and Joe Biden, says Christian McMullen. Have they had an argument? I'm a Chelsea fan and I've always loved Rudiger, says Connor. Well, enjoy your win, Chelsea fans. You deserved it. And I'll see you tomorrow for FIFA Career Mode. We'll have the Champions League draw on Friday morning on here. And United Stand is obviously tomorrow night with the watch along there as well. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone who's got involved. Remember, look, football is nothing without the banter and the rivalry. So I've enjoyed it and I'll speak to you later.